Hello, everyone. I welcome you to another episode from my podcast series. Now, this one I would like to address. This has come to me from a lot of my clients who work virtually with me across the globe. And a lot of people these days, on account of the coronavirus pandemic and working from home, plus also a lot of them are now social distant themselves from any gathering, self isolated at home with families. And being a situation where it is not just one city, one country, or one nation, it's something that has impacted the entire globe. So, first time in the history, I think it's everyone seems to be in some way or the other affected by it. So, having given into such a situation, I think sometimes we really need to have things in perspective before we really get anxious, stressed about it, or start thinking what's going to happen next and unnecessarily get ourselves into the worry cycle. I have few um, tips and few insights that I would like to share with you. The reason I have recorded the session also is my intent is to help as many as I could. And I think the lockdown, if you really pay attention to it, and if you may have been watching the news, we've all seen that China, being the first country to experience and witness this epidemic, has exercised certain methods by which it almost took them from November now, which is March, good amount of time to bring it under control. We do not hear, at least of the latest records, any reports of new cases there, even though they had their own share of a lot of people losing their life and a lot of them being affected by it. But then they had started the lockdown process 2.5 months before and were able to, at a very large extent, kind of control it to an extent where they are not reporting no new cases. Now, just like any other good practice that we may adopt from others, I think this is also something the world has adopted from looking at China, which was one of the first country to undergo this serious issue. And lockdown is in a way why I think lockdown is something so common and every government is emphasizing on it and making sure everyone does that is because regardless of who we are, whether we are from India or whether we are from United States of America, where there are not so many people in terms of population, but in India where we are densely populated, or whether you have the best of facilities, there is always a limit to the number of healthcare professionals who could take care of patients. There's a limit to the number of equipments which can be used to treat people, and there's a limit to the number of or the supply of medicines that could be used. So, applying this common sense, isolation in a way, since this disease is highly contagious, isolation is one of the preventive measures that could keep it contained to controllable levels. And that's the precisely one of the basic and the foremost reason why most of the nations are calling it for a lockdown. Second thing, I think our safety is in our own hands. Uh, Not that a doctor cannot treat, or we don't have enough medical facilities. If we look at it in a way where we think that instead of getting into risky situations, putting ourselves, putting people around us, or putting our family into risk, it is far much better that we take preventive measures and keep everyone safe. Yes, there is no doubt that isolation, self isolation, being at home may lead to boredom. But if we really reflect, is safety, good health more important or boredom? Yes, we may feel a bit overwhelmed, and people might feel even a bit suffocating that you're all the time at home and just can't step out only for essentials, and then we keep going around. Nobody has so much of activities one could do, which obviously the boredom sets in and we start to get frustrated. But I think there's a better way to handle it. The first thing is We need to attach the meaning of safety to why this lockdown is. Second, we need to be aware that it is for our own good. Third, we as responsible citizens of the globe, not just of one particular nation, we need to cooperate with our government so that we can contribute as much as we could in keeping people away from this deadly disease, including ourselves. Finally, finally, even though boredom seeps in, I would request not to watch news and just be a couch potato since because we are at home. Rather, set aside some time for news which you can just watch as an update on a daily basis and take time to focus. Focus on what's important to you. You could have had a hobby, there could be a lot that you could do at home. Think and plan around it, and you will find a way out. It's not all that bad as it seems. And moreover, always keep this in mind, safety comes first. Let's stay at home, let's stay safe, and keep our fellow citizens safe. Thank you.